Hello, children of primary 3. How are you? I hope you are fine and you're doing well. Please, as you're at home, help your parents to do work. For example, the sweeping, the mopping, cooking if you can, peeling, and so many other activities. So, welcome to our second lesson. So we are still looking at customs in our town council. In the previous lesson that we looked at, we saw the vocabulary, we looked at the different forms. So today we are going to use the correct forms of the words in the brackets to complete the sentences. But before we do that, let's first take the spelling activity. Are we ready for the spelling activity? Okay, if at all we are ready, let's take number one. Number one, write happily. Number one, write happily. Number two, write happiest. Number two, happiest. And then number three, write happier. Number three, write happier. Let me repeat. Number one, happily. Number two, happiest. Number three, happier. Are we together? Okay, if at all we are done, then we are going to check and see whether what we have written is correct or wrong. If it is correct, that is very good. Then if it is wrong, then we shall have to make the corrections. And you know the way we make the corrections for the spelling activity. We write that word that we have failed 3 times. Are we there? Okay, we now start with the first one. Someone to spell me the word happily. Okay, thank you. Happily is Happily. That is very good. So we are repeating for everybody to hear. So happily is Happily. That is very good. Yes, we move to number two. On number two, we have happiest. Yes, happiest is Happyiest, and that is happiest. That is very good. Then on number three, we have happier. Happier is Happyier. Happyier. And the word is happier. Okay, for those ones who have got the 3 words correct, that is very good. If you have not got all correct, please get your pen and write that word that you have failed 3 times. Are you together? Okay, so we have said that last time we looked at the different forms of the vocabulary that we had. And last time we wrote some of the activities on that vocabulary. So today we are going to add on. So we have this small activity on the vocabulary, and the instruction says, use the correct form of the words in the brackets to complete the sentences. So you're going to read these sentences very well, then you look at the word in the brackets and then get to know which form it is going to change to, such that it makes that sentence a correct sentence. That is, if you put it in the space provided. Are we together? So we are going to read it through, then after reading through, we shall look at other activities that we shall have to do within this lesson. So we are going to read these questions together. The first one says, Peter is dash than his brother. Peter is dash than his brother. And in the brackets we have sad. So you're going to use the correct form of the word sad, such that you put it in that space and it makes that sentence a correct sentence. Then on number 2, we have John is the dash boy in primary 3. John is the dash boy in primary 3. Then in brackets we have happy. On number 3, Jack dash walked out of the room. Jack dash walked out of the room. In the brackets we have sad. Then number 4, she dash talked to her mother about her birthday party. She dash talked to her mother about her birthday party. Then in brackets we have happy. Number 5 says, of the twins, Kato is dash. Then still in the brackets we have the word happy. Then we move to 6. 6 says, Daniel dash well yesterday. In the brackets we have sing. Then 7 says, we have dash at the assembly. We have dash at the assembly. In the brackets we have sing. Then on 8, she dash her song every morning. She dash her song every morning. In the brackets we have the word sing. Then on number 9, they all dash their parents. They all dash their parents. In brackets we have the word great. Then on number 10, she dashed yesterday because the teacher beat her. She dashed yesterday because the teacher beat her. In the brackets we have cry. Then number 11 says, we dash our teachers every morning. We dash our teachers every morning. In the brackets we have great. Then on number 12, the baby is dash for food. The baby is dash for food. In the brackets we have cry. Then on number 13 says Peter dash a nice shirt yesterday. Peter dash a nice shirt yesterday. In the brackets we have wear. Then we have 14, which says Jane dash down while greeting every day. Jane dash down while greeting every day. So we have that activity about the different forms that we looked at in our lesson 1. So you're going to read those sentences very carefully and get to know which form you are supposed to use for that sentence. If you're supposed to change it to the present simple tense, you change. If you're supposed to change to the past tense, you change to that tense. If it is the present continuous tense, you change to that tense. If it is the past participle, you change to that tense. If you're supposed to change an adjective in the brackets to other forms of adjectives, then you change to the correct form. If you're supposed to change to an adverb, please change to the adverb. But as you write that activity, please don't forget to punctuate your work and to copy the words the way they all appear. Are we together? Okay, so that is the activity about the different forms that we looked at in the previous lesson. So now we move to the next instruction or the next activity that we have, and it is telling us to construct sentences using the words. Construct sentences using the words. So we looked at the vocabulary last time, and now we are going to make sentences using that vocabulary. For example, on the first one we have pain. We have pain. And for pain, you can say he felt pain in his knee. He felt pain in his knee. Since we are just making sentences using these words, you are free to change that word to any form that you feel like. For example, you can use painful and you can use painless within your sentence. Are we together? Okay, so we move to the next word which we have. The next word that we have is kneel. Are we there? And on kneel, we are saying David knelt down while greeting his mother. David knelt down while greeting his mother. Are we together? So I have given you those two examples, that is a sentence for pain and then a sentence for kneel. But you can get very many other sentences. Those are not the only sentences that we have on those two words. They are very many, so you can add more. So we have the next word, which is regular, and you're going to construct for me a sentence using the word regular. We have cry, we have sing, we have dance, we have happy, and then we have sad. So you're going to construct for me a sentence for each of those words. Are we together? So now we move to the next instruction, and the next instruction is telling us to construct sentences to show that you know the meaning of the words. Construct sentences to show that you know the meaning of the words. Are we together? Okay. If at all we are together, so here in the first one they were telling us to construct sentences using the words. Now here they are telling us to construct sentences to show that you know the meaning of the words. When you look at these words that are given, they are homophones. Homophones are words that have the same pronunciation but different meaning. For example, if you look at the words on A, we have where and we have where. Are we together? And we are supposed to make sentences using those two words. But as you're making those sentences, make sure that you don't change the pronunciation of those words. That is, if you're making sentences using the homophones, you make sure you don't change the pronunciation of that word. For example, we have where. Like we can say to wear is to have something on your body, that is to wear. So if you have to make a sentence, you have to make that sentence that will differentiate the meaning of that wear from that other one of W-H-E-R. For example, you can say, I am wearing a dress. I am wearing a dress. Or you can say, Peter. Oh, sorry, since they are homophones, we can say, we wear dresses every day. We wear dresses every day. Since we have said that we are not supposed to change the pronunciation, you have to maintain the pronunciation of those two words. And then when we look at to, which is where, that where on to is used to refer to a place. Is used to refer to a place. For example, you can say, where do you live? That is the where on to. Where do you live? Are we together? So we now move to B. We have those homophones on B. We have war and we have war. So what you're going to do, we looked at the war, the first one, and we said it is the past tense of where. Then war, which is the next one, is used to refer to a situation when countries, all groups of people fight against each other for a period of time. So you're going to make for me a sentence using the first war and then another sentence using the second one. But as you write those sentences, make sure that you differentiate. Make sure that the sentence that you have written differentiates the meaning of the two. Okay, if that is okay, then that is very good. We now move to C. On C, we have the first one, which is seek, and that seek is S-E-E-K. And to seek is to look for something. To seek is to look for something. For example, you can say drivers are advised to seek for other routes. Drivers are advised to seek for other routes. So to seek, that is S-E-E-K, is to look for something. Then we have the next is seek, which is S-I-C-K. So for that seek, that one is used to refer to someone who is physically or mentally ill. So for those two words, you're going to make for me a sentence for each of them to show that you know the difference in their meaning. Are we together? Okay, if at all we are together, we now move to structures. We now move to structures. And for today, we are going to look at one structure. Are we together? Let's please read that structure. Okay, thank you. What did dash do? What did the dash do? That dash is giving us very many alternatives. For example, we can put Mary in that dash, we can put Peter, we can put John, we can put any name within that dash. So because we cannot put all of them in that one space, that's why I've put a dash. So the structure that we have says, what did dash do? But before we start looking at that structure, I want us to pick up that helping verb did. Can we all say did? Okay, let's spell the word did. Thank you, it is D-I-D. Very good. So for that word did, that word did is used in the past tense. Or if we have those questions that are having the word did, it means that sentence or that question is in the past tense. Therefore, if you're giving an answer, then you have to change the main verb to the past tense. All you have to make sure that the answer you're giving is in the past tense. Let's look at the first example. The first one says, what did Mary do? Then in brackets we are having sing. What did Mary do? And in brackets we have sing. So the answer there says Mary sang. So we are changing the sing to the past tense to make sure that the answer that we are writing is in the same tense with our question. So we have changed the sing to sang. Since the question is in past tense, we also make sure that the answer is in the past tense. So question 1 says, what did Mary do? And the answer is Mary sang. So we are using the sing which is in the brackets to answer that first question. So we now move to the next one, and the next one says, what did Ali do? What did Ali do? And in the brackets we have wear a shirt. Wear a shirt. But we have said that that did is showing us that we are dealing with a question in the past tense. Therefore, if you're giving your answer has to be in the past tense. So instead of the where in the brackets, we are going to change it to the past tense, which is wore. And we shall say, Ali wore a shirt. Ali wore a shirt. That is for the structure that we have had today. So we have an activity about that structure, and let's read it together. Answer the questions using the words in the brackets. Answer the questions using the words in the brackets. We have question 1, what did the angel do? Question 2, What did the cattle do? Question 3. What did the baby do? Then question 4. What did Joan do? Question 5. What did Sam do? So as you look at those words in the brackets, those are the very words that we are going to use while answering. But as you're answering, don't forget to change to the past tense since we are dealing with questions in the past tense. Thank you so much. So that is the end of our lesson 2. Let's meet in our lesson 3. Thank you so much. As you write, don't forget to write neatly and use the correct letter shapes.